And so like I think another way of kind of saying that is, we use these tools internally, like we use our own technology. And I have written more content on our internal intranet. I've probably written 5 to 6 times as much content this year as I wrote in the previous year, like probably higher than that. Because what you realize is if you want that to be possible, if you want people to be able to have conversations with,
You got to get it out of your head.
you got to, right, but you have to treat, this is the thing, if the AI is a teammate, you have to think about its learning and development as well, right? So how is it possibly going to answer that question? And it's got all these knowledge gaps. And part of what you're now trying to do is like you're trying to externalize what you know, and not just what I know, but like what our team knows or like what nobody knows. Like there's a gap here. It's like nobody here can answer this question. We need to go find the answer to plug the gap because you're trying to build, if you imagine it's like a foundation, like you're trying to build a solid knowledge foundation for your company. And you don't want there to be cracks and holes and gaps. You want to build on rock, not sand, all the metaphors, right? And so when you get that metaphor in your head of like, we're trying to build and then also maintain this solid knowledge foundation, and you're thinking about these future teammates that may be AI, it just changes your whole approach. Like as I'm designing stuff, like new features, a lot of what I'm doing is then I do a lot of that through audio mode, which I know, Todd, you do as well. And at the end of that, I'll say like, let's kind of tell me our design decisions that we made while we were designing. Like, what did we decide to do? What not? Why did we make these decisions? What are some workarounds? And then I'll log that because I'm not going to remember that 3 months from now or 6 months from now or 12 months from now. So I can personally go back and get answers to those things, but that opens it up to my team too. So they're like, why aren't we supporting this feature? Well, it's because of this, and we have to do it in the future. So I think it's a mindset shift, Evan, and an awareness that like, if you take the time to write all this down, and I think this is what's different from the past of knowledge management, is everybody, especially subject matter experts, get it. They're like, oh, I see. I can retrieve it. My team can retrieve it. It's setting us up for AI success. So it just feels like that ROI on doing all that knowledge work has just gone through the roof.
That retrieval part is so important, right? Because how many times, like, okay, it could be a Revit model, it could be a Rhino model, it could be a Bluebeam document, but you have to go in and look for that information if you want to find it, or it's just forgotten about, right? Yeah. Let's be honest. Yeah. How many files are on the server, and it's like nobody knows what's in them, and no one's going to go look.
Right.
Because and somebody's moved on, and we forgot about it. But what you're actually talking about is just kind of this actively live document. At least it has the potential to be that.
I mean, it's kind of like a digital twin for your people, right? If you think about it, you want to keep the model of your knowledge up to date, digitally while you're building it in your carbon-based analog brain or whatever it is,